Welcome back to Crypto's juiciest news, baby dolls. What's going on with Ethereum? Did it finally crack 4,000 American dollars? Did Sharp stink buy more ETH? What did Michael Saylor say about BTC and all the money coming in? Did Pump Fund make some moves? All of that coming your way and more, friends. I've even got some cute comments about President Trump's son, Eric Trump, poking fun at people who were short him. BTC, friends, is actually going sideways, and the show stealer today is Meth. So this is the Bitcoin monthly chart, okay? So it's still on the 5th green candle. I want you to just observe something now, right? Did you notice how Bitcoin is in monthly candle green number 5? Now, what you're not going to see from everyone out there in cryptocurrency land is they're not going to show you that monthly chart. Instead, what they're going to do is they're going to go down into the daily chart, and they're going to say, oh no, or maybe even lower, friends. They'll go down in a 4-hour and they go, oh crap, like Ethereum's going up and Bitcoin's not moving. Bitcoin's not moving. But actually, it's just a catch-up play. This is what happens, friends. You see, we've now reached, I guess, what we can call my famous point of inflection for Bitcoin, where it hits a valuation and the market decides, you know, just the wisdom of the crowd, that Bitcoin's actually too expensive now. We've got to reprice altcoins and all the infrastructure. The interesting part about that is just how much it can vary. In 2017, okay, it happened at exactly Bitcoin's previous all-time high. So it would have been like last year, Bitcoin breaking 60K to 70K, around there. That's actually what happened in 2017. That was Bitcoin's point of inflection. I can actually show you, if we go back to the chart of 2017, right? It was this monthly candle here. It was Bitcoin going to, actually, you know, the funny part, friends, actually, now that I think about it, it didn't actually break the all-time high. It was still around, if you go look at January, this is a January candle, this red one. Yeah, it was still like 25% below its all-time high. So actually, now that I think about it, it would have been like Bitcoin at 60K, not 64 or 67 breaking, but actually 60,000. That was the point of inflection back when Donald Trump was president last. In 2021, we did not get a point of inflection that was exactly near the all-time high for Bitcoin. Instead, our point of inflection, where all the altcoins rotated, was 2x above the all-time high. So instead of 20K, the point of inflection started here at pretty much 40,000. So it had to go up. It stopped around 40K. And then as it started thrusting up, so it goes up there, does these little bull flag, and then it shoots up, okay? So I want you to notice just the difference of that. That's why we've had a lot of pain, okay? For our cycle, we had, so this is why it was double hard, right? Bitcoin breaks its high early, and our point of inflection was 2x higher than its all-time high. So you had these double whammy effects. So unfortunately, we got the worst of both worlds, right? We thought Bitcoin at 60K was going to be, you know, because you're hopeful that's enough for altcoins. And unfortunately, what we got was Bitcoin breaks the high early. Remember, it comes back in March 2024 in the Bitcoin halving year, which it never does, right? Never done that before. It was the first time. And then we finally have started this point of inflection. You know what's funny, friends? If you look at this chart, you scrunch it up. You go, oh, you thought your alt seasons were going to start here, but it only started there. It's kind of funny, man. When we look back at this in the future, okay, if we just go forward in time, let's say the year is 2035, you'll look at this and everyone's going to go like, oh, whatever, you know, everything just goes up. That's how they're going to summarize it in their head. But you were here with me, okay? You were here with me earning these badges, right? These Pokemon gym badges, if you will. And this is like this amount of pain, this amount of time. And it literally felt like forever. Like this total doubt was creeping in. So that's like pretty much, that's summarized for you what we've actually just sat through and what the next phase we're going in. Like we're just hoping and hoping and hoping. Please, can you just hurry up and just stop? But finally, here we are today. So Ethereum, friends, you can see it's finally breaking out of this giant big triangle. Ethereum is a show stealer, as I said, 4,000 American dollars. We are cranking on through. We've got a while to go, by the way. Let's go check out what Ethereum is going to do in terms of its price targets. I've got Ethereum on the daily, and this is a linear chart as well. So the first Fibonacci is 7,300. In my mind, we're always destined for here. For a long time, I've been talking about this price, ever since like literally 2 years ago. The thing, though, is then what? Does it stop there and fake everybody out? Or does it stop there, you know, fake everybody out and go up to the next point? I don't know. But hopefully it is enough for us to win, because we have been buying in this freaking vicious long crypto bear market, which has literally lasted forever, altcoins, and yeah, everybody in Bitcoin's cheering. But this is the thing, friends, I'll tell you right now, everybody in Bitcoin, you think you're going to get a giant multiple from here. You don't know that. You're just speculating that because it's been strong for the first half of the cycle, the first 3 quarters. It's been mega, mega, mega strong. You don't know that. Okay, you do not know that. Okay, you can't guarantee that's going to happen. It's just, but what's happening is, friends, everyone's emotions is pricing that in. So yes, all the Ethereum shorts are literally getting cabooshed. Do you remember, friends, that smart trader B92? Unfortunately, I think he's been liquidated now. So actually, I just want to show you, if we zoom in, yesterday I reported for you, it was in my Telegrams and my Twitteroonies as well. Remember this guy, when we first came here, he had taken a big loss on his trade. So what he did is he put a biggest revenge short on Ethereum, I think up here, 3,900. And then as it came down, I thought, this is the craziest part, I was thinking about him. I was at the gym and I thought, man, maybe that guy made back a bit of his money. Because what he did is, friends, he put on like triple the leverage. So he basically, it's like you take a $10,000 loss on something and then you go, well, now I'm down. Let's say you make $10,000 loss and then in the next trade, you do 3 times your size because you want to make it back faster. Right? What ended up happening was he did it, but he got greedy. This is it. Once you start gambling and tilting, this is what happens, okay? It came down, and because he's so bearish on Ethereum, you know, as it started going up here, he added. So he added to his short here. He really thought it was doing the lower high and it was going to come down. He thought this was going to happen. Instead, it does the little skitsy area here, and it's popped up here. And guess what? He added more to his shorts. He deposited another $5 million. He put more to the shorts. I think he's blown out now already. So it just literally popped on through. It's kind of funny, man. Like, how, man? How do you see 6 resistance points and you're like, yep, I'm going to sell it on the 7th one? It's because he's doing some sort of system. That's why, friends, as well. When you're in the game like that, you don't listen to people like me. You don't listen to anybody. You listen to yourself. You go, well, if that person knew what they were talking about, you know, they'd be so rich, or they'd be telling me up and down. But that's actually what ends up happening, right? They look at their own past and then they become a statistic at the end of the day. That's why we're here to believe in spot altcoins, growing network effects, getting them in early, because altcoins are the infrastructure of Bitcoin. So, friends, pretty much what has been the summary of everything? It's pretty much mean everyone in Bitcoin, Maxi Land, and then Solana, they looked at us dead in the eyes and they said, are you sure you want to risk your life on Ethereum and Ethereum linked crypto altcoins? Are you sure? And do you know what we said to them? We said, it's my life, whatever I wanna do. It's my life, wherever I wanna go. We said, it's my life and I'll do whatever I want can be do. That's what we said to them. Okay? So we're finally seeing this big rotation. This is the Bitcoin dominance chart. I'm going to show you some blockchain backer charts as well, friends. So Bitcoin dominance, big fat red candle. I mean, it's got a long, long, long way to go. A long way to go. Okay? It's got quite a while to go. All right. What I'm going to do now, friends, I'll just quickly just show you that Bitcoin dominance, okay? And you know what we should do as well? Let's have a look at the yearly chart. This is the 12-month chart. In my mind, there's no reason for this thing to be green at all. This should be a red Bitcoin dominance here, okay? So it's got to go below 58%. This is nothing, but this is still stupid. It should be making lower lows, dude. You've got President Pump launched a meme coin. You have DeFi. You have all these hyper burning of all these coins, okay? We have all these ETFs and stuff coming. We have a pro-crypto administration. It makes no logical sense for this thing to be above a 40% Bitcoin dominance. Why? Why should you be above Bitcoin dominance when you have the powder keg is like ready to explode? Everyone around the world, you have stablecoin SuperCycle. Does Bitcoin have stablecoins? No. You might say, oh, it's meant to be a better stablecoin. Yeah. It's meant to be a better stablecoin, but try convincing all the boomers out there. In their eyes, they want $1 to stay $1. That's it. Can't argue with them, right? So we have stablecoin SuperCycle. We have meme coin SuperCycle. We have everyone always doing. Here's a funny thing, friends. We even have, when I say Bitcoin treasury bubble, it's funny. People don't understand it. You know, Bitcoin treasury bubble, it tells you Bitcoin dominance is going lower. You know that, right? Because it's funny. Everyone's making these stocks. They want to basically take Bitcoin money out of the system to go put it in their treasuries. Okay, he literally, it's the gateway to altcoin and poop coinery, as the Bitcoin maxis say. So that's why they think by having Bitcoin treasury bubble, they're going to make Bitcoin dominance go up. You can't fight it, dude. You can't. But you'll see later on. Now, I don't know how this is going to resolve, man, because we're like, well, we've got 4 months left in the year. What's going to happen? Are we going to do like a red candle here, and then maybe next year's a fake out, and then we go down? I don't know. How's a 4-year cycle gonna solve itself? I have no idea, friends. But as you know, like in our previous alt season years, right, there's a big fat Darth red candle where the Bitcoin dominance goes down. You know, we've only got a couple of months left in the year, so we'll see how that plays out, right? Also, if we're looking at Bitcoin dominance itself, okay, we have it. I have it here, okay. Now, obviously, all these people, friends, you know, Bitcoin, you're all going home. Bitcoin dominance, 99%. And then you have friends, remember Willy Woo saying 90% Bitcoin dominance. Remember these friends? Remember, I literally came out. I put warning emojis. I said, please, can someone contact Willy Woo and tell him he's making the mistake of his life? Tell him your friend saw me, the guy who pegs himself on the internet and is wearing an astronaut helmet right now and a Pokemon hoodie. Please tell him he's making a literal biggest mistake of his life. You are literally buying the Pico top of Bitcoin dominance, okay? You're selling your Bitcoin and going to Bitcoin infrastructure, and they're going to get absolutely decimated, bro. Because they're not even going to be able to rally in our alt season because your money's locked up, number one. And then number two, when they finally come online, guess what? You're probably going to get your shares of the infrastructure mining unlocked in the middle of our freaking bear market, right as all the Bitcoin treasuries are starting to freaking liquidate because they over-leveraged, okay? But what do I know? You know, I'm just a normal guy with sharp elbows out there in the world. You know what I mean? Well, not just any sharp elbows. The sharpest in the world. We'll give it that to me. Okay, look. Bitcoin dominance over here, friends. There is this cracker level it has all the way here. All right, all the way there. And I don't know if it's going to come back down. Is it going to give us one painful year and then it goes sideways and then we're like ready to blow? Is that what's going to happen? Are we going to have like double bubble alt season like that? Friends, I know we're going to have a double alt season. I just don't know in which fashion. You know? Do you know what I think about, friends? This might be... Look, I don't like saying this, but this is true, okay? If to ruin the most amount of people, you break the 4-year cycle, number one. Number two, you do a double bubble alt season, but what you do is you get a big one at the end of this year, and then you make everyone think it's over next year, and then altcoins run early the year, like at the end of next year or 2027, when everyone thinks it's Bitcoin only year. Yeah, everyone that's one way to ruin it, you know. But we'll see. We don't know. Okay, wait for Euphoria. Remember all of these things, because remember when I'm guessing this stuff, I don't know the parabolic exponential news that's coming around the corner, and you don't either. So we're just assuming we're just going to be traversing along this nice trend, but actually what happens is, look what happens out of nowhere. See, friends, if you're just watching like Bitcoin dominance, for example, like you can't possibly imagine, look what comes next. Now, granted, this is Ethereum coming online and becoming its first cycle, but just to give you another idea, you're like, oh, wow, everything's moving at a certain pace. You know, we might have 3 years left of this alt season, and then look what happens. Literally, friends, this is from March 2021. I'm not joking, literally 60 days it's over. It just literally bang, 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 bang. It just all goes over. So you just don't know, man. Maybe we get something like that where it goes bang, 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 and does something like that. You never know. We'll see. We'll see how far it goes. Just be careful of buying the first Bitcoin dip dominance. That's what I'm telling you, because here's the thing, friends. Let's take some time now to look at Bitcoin Treasuries.net. See, I know everybody says, Bitcoin. I love the Bitcoin. Bitcoin's great. It's not going anywhere. I love it. When I see Bitcoin Treasuries, what I actually see is, friend, this is what I see. I see a lot of these potential like traps, landmines everywhere. Basically, what I see is a lot of companies who, come on, man, there's 100 companies here. You really think they're all Bitcoin maxis? Get out of here, dude. I'm not, come on, man. How many are you going to be? Maybe, I reckon maybe 20% of them are. Maybe, that's, you know how do I know that? That's from the amount of people who own Bitcoin. Bitcoin maxis, they're around 15 to 20%. So how do we just guess that? On crypto exchanges, of everybody who has Bitcoin, about 80 out of 100 people have something else as well. They've got Ethereum and, you know, altcoins and everything else. About 15 to 20% have Bitcoin only in their exchanges. So, I mean, that's a lot of people, by the way, because Bitcoin, I think, have 400 million or so people holding it in the world. So, yeah, that's 100 million Bitcoin maxis. That's what I'm telling you, it's a neo-religion at this point, right? Let me even tell you, how many people are in Scientologist, right? Let me see how many people in the world. They have 10 million globally. 10 million people are in Scientology. Okay, well, if Scientology is a religion, Bitcoin maximalism has got like 100 million people. So, it's interesting. But it's a different type of indoctrination, you know what I mean? Because these people are slaves to green candles. Like, we all know, like, you know, like, it's different. If Scientology, if, say, if a new denomination of Christianity just starts booming in members, these people aren't going to leave. You know what I mean? They're going to stay there. But it's the same thing, but with Bitcoin Maxis, it's different, right? If ETH-BTC goes high enough, I mean, friends, do you remember I told you, I made these videos years ago. This is Crypto Chris. Chris literally said, okay, with ETH-BTC, he gives it a 0% chance Ethereum will ever flip Bitcoin. 0%. But he said it like back around ETF spot price, okay? So, and what he actually said, what I heard him say this shocked me. He says, if Ethereum BTC ever got here, he will switch his portfolio to be 90% Ethereum. I couldn't believe he actually said that. He said that straight in the interview. It's like, yeah, of course I have to. I'm like, what? What about the Bitcoin? What about the money supply? What about the Satoshi? All of it out the door. Okay, what? Because the price went up? That's it? Friends, think about this is a staunch Bitcoin maxi believer. You know, even though he plays with all the leverage and altcoins and stuff out here. But staunch, think about that, man. That's just an insight into everybody else. Now, I'm going to show you the MicroStrategy NAV, which is the Bitcoin on their balance sheet. We're always looking at this number, the NAV multiple. It's 1.52. Is it going to repeat the GBTC pattern? We'll see. We don't know where it's going to go down towards 1 and then negative. We have no idea, you know, but we'll take it day by day. Now, let's check out some blockchain backer video posts here. Sorry, I've got some, once again, looking at that fractal, friends. He really believes that we are in this zone here. Do you see this arrow, friends? Right here, we've seen some good news, right? Where just, you know, Ethereum, Tom Lee comes out, accumulates Ethereum. He calls for 100x. He said Ethereum could be $15,000 by the end of this year. That's what he said. And I guess the next phase, are we going to do this part? That's what I guess we're thinking about. You know, is Bitcoin, you got to think about this, friends, by the way. It doesn't even go to its retrace. See this point? Its first fib. The first fib here for Bitcoin right now is 130K. So it would be the same as Bitcoin going to, let's say it does touch 130 in hour one, and then it goes, guess what? It's actually over, bank. That would happen. Here's the thing. He just has it all over here. But then what I did is I continued. And I said, well, what if, right? What if it goes like this, right? What if there's a big channel that forms? And then we actually continue. And it's a believer's cycle. That's what I'm thinking about. By the way, if you're curious, hey, Somi, what happened in this right-hand side as well? Bitcoin went up, friends. That's 2017 fractal. So the time is going, just to show you. And it's funny. It's the same months. So we crash in September. Do you know what's crazy, man? It's lining up, by the way, because our global liquidity, the fractal, it moves up in August for the lag, the lead lag, the 12-week lag, and then we start dropping in September, which I'll just show you now. So actually, let me just show you. So if we go and look at the global liquidity fractal, it's right here. Check it out. See how, look, it started to pull back. If you go and move our mouse, actually, September's going up, friends, and then September peaks, and then it comes down for October. But you never know if it's going to move exactly in line. It's interesting, right? There's kind of a slowdown. And we've got some very, very key important dates. Also, as promised to you, I'll show you where the fractal is actually coming from. Because Bitcoin is the funny part, friends. Bitcoin pumps after that fractal, right? Which blockchain backer doesn't believe in, but we'll see. Let's go. Here it is, September. You know the fractal we're looking at? It's actually here. This is our rising. So he thinks we're going to rise up, and then we're going to do this, and then go up. It's funny. Do you remember I showed you the channel? See, you can draw a channel here. That's funny. It's literally the exact same thing if it plays out. If we go up here, squeeze them all out, everyone thinks it's over, but then we continue for the believers run. That'd be interesting. Very interesting if we play that. So, of course, you and I are just going to take it day by day. OTHERs-BTC is still only in its second green candle, right? Where, remember, danger is number 5. Okay, danger is number 5 because once, out of 3 scenarios we have, there was how many combos in a row before it ended? 5, 6, and 6. Okay, so we haven't even finished number 2. Let's finish August and we'll see what happens. This is Blockchain Backer's Bitcoin dominance chart, just showing you all the levels we can go back down and get something like this. That's right, friends. It'll be the best scenario for us would be we come down here, okay, and then everyone thinks it's over, but then there's a rejection and then we actually have the double bubble. Okay, this is wave 1 and then this is wave 2, the double bubble alt season. I know it's going to be scary though. That's what, friend, I've been telling you. Okay, I hope you appreciate me. And at the very, very end, if you make a lot of money, you can tip me 1 Ethereum. Okay, I've been telling you since the start, once it's finally done, you will thank me. Because I've been telling you, buy as much crypto as you can. I said it in 2022. I said it in 2023, okay? The deepest of the bear markets, even in 2024, I go, get as much as you want. I said, why? Because in every cycle, man, alt season wave number 2 is a total gamble, okay? You've got to prepare for alt season wave number 1. You literally have to make as much as you can, and it's diminishing. So you don't have 2 waves to retire because you don't know if you're going to get the second one, okay? You have 1. And it diminishes each time. Okay, well, you know, if the wave comes and it's not what you like, you can't rewind time and buy as much as you can. A lot of you have been doing that, so congratulations. By the way, kind of lucky, right? Altcoins are like really cheap still, even after all this time. Now, friends, do you remember I made a video, thank you to the baby doll in my Telegram who showed me this.
Yes.
We have AI, which is underpinning the economy. We just saw ChatGPT, friends. I'll be making some cute imagery in ChatGPT 5, and it's pretty good. Like the drawings improved and stuff. That's what I can report to you straight away. So AI is underpinning the economy of the world. It is moving at a rapid pace. It's still pumping everything up. We haven't seen the AI bubble mania part yet because it's all hardware and real upgrades. So it's improving and making us excited. At some point, it's going to get stupid and silly, what that point is. But I also joked, I said, well, one day, see, AI, friends, it's running as well with robotics. Because you got to remember, right, the AI becomes the brain of the robot in the future when they just hook it up. And the robot, guess what? The robot has AI intelligence. It could be like in 5 or 10 years, and they're just using them in warehouses and stuff. Like Amazon's already got robot factories. But I also made a joke one day when they have the sex robots, right? There will be a machine gun coming out of one of the robots' maybe like spy assassin bodies, right, from from another country. And future is now. Austin Powers, one of my favorite movies, friends. I remember as a kid, man, I died. It's just so good. I used to think, man, the movies now, do they suck? Or am I just getting like older? And I watch this, but still, it's amazing. It's not, man. Something happened with Hollywood. I don't know what it is, man. Too many satanic rituals. Speaking of sex robots, I mean, check it out, friends. Look what's coming.
This is Melody, one of our robots. She speaks various languages, and she's built in a modular fashion.
By the way, they made her literally looking like a lady of the night. I'm telling you, friends, I'm not joking. They're making the sex robots. That's the first thing that's coming. Okay? Because you already know some dude's paying 50 grand for it. You know, straight away.
So we can take off her face, replace it with another face, and have her speaking as a different character. Our skills are having very realistic skin, and our AI is very different. It's functioned to create companion and friendship and social type interactions with people. So our robots don't do physical human labor, but they're really meant for personal interaction.
Yeah, personal interactions. I wonder what that means.
Because it had too many bytes.
She can smile, so I'll have her smile. And
do you want to know what I think is going to happen, friends? I know this is like really futuristic. I think men are going to make robots about their ideal women, and I think what ends up is going to happen is it's not going to be good for them. Yeah, I think we're going to design these robots to be like, hey, don't talk too much. Always have your makeup on, and always do this, and then only talk to me when I need. And like, it's just, I think it's going to end up. What's going to happen is, it's going to basically like devolve to literally just fornication. It'll just devolve to that. And then I think it'll actually lower our natural health as well. That's what I think the future's coming. So this is the type of stuff that's underpinning everything. And you know, we can't just stop here and then have like a 4-year or 3-year freaking US recession and then continue later on, right? We haven't even like got into the real mania of these things yet. Okay, so as we've seen now, cracking on with news. Ethereum has busted $4,000. We've liquidated the shorts. We're now sitting at around 4,000. Hopefully, we're now doing that little launch pad part as we continue up. The next target's 7,200. We have stablecoin, SuperCycle, and all these things underpinning it. Right, pretty much outside of our control now. Eric Trump says, it puts a smile on my face to see Ethereum shorts get smoked today. Man, that's funny as well. Imagine you're like short and like you hear the president's son saying, ha ha. But also funny, man, just talking everyone to be bullish on Ethereum back at 2,800. That's why there had to have been some sort of scamming manipulation thing. So he was bullish here with the rest of us. We're all bullish here. We're bullish here on this 2,800 dip. And then look what ends up happening. Down, 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 down. And it did this. By the way, just to show you, friends, this is a very rare pattern. Okay, that is about 1 in 10. 1 in 10, you get the V, okay? Most of the time, you get double bottom, die out, okay? That's most of the time. And this is the sentiment killer, okay? Normally, the market is meant to... So what was meant to happen is Ethereum was meant to go back up here, and then in most times, it does the bang, the sentiment killer. This is the sentiment killer, and then it actually goes up. That's normally what happens. Instead, in this one, instead of making a low here, it just got, everyone went out and bang, 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 bang. It was really, really bad, by the way. 1400 is where it was in 2017. So it literally erased 8 years of gains, which is very sad to see. But hey, that's markets, man, you know? So let's crack on as well. So Eric Trump also said, stop betting against Bitcoin and Ethereum. You will be run over. That's great, right? So we have Bitcoin dominance and everything coming out. You're probably curious as well, friends. Somi, what about the soy ETH ratio? It is getting clobbered, man. Once again, friends, soy ETH continues to tick down. Look, it's actually fallen out of my little cute circle here. It's getting crushed. All the attention's back on ETH. It's rotating back in. And as I told you, man, I guess it did repeat. History did repeat. Where the big narrative show stealer of the Bitcoin halvening year, whatever it is, it does not follow on in the year after the Bitcoin halvening year. And our one was Solana, okay? In 2020, it was DeFi. It was Chainlink, Aave, Uniswap, yeah, the DeFi stuff. The market came in and they chose new things. They chose just other stuff, right? So that's exactly what happened in this cycle as well. Everybody came in for JPEG, Solana stuff last year, and now it's not following through. You're already seeing it. Now, I'm telling you it's not following through. However, if you go listen to literally every single other KOL that you watch, they can't help but give you like a 30-minute interview or presentation of Solana's the future. Solana, soy. Hey, do you like Google Maps? Well, now we have Google Maps with a crypto token. That's exactly what you've been asking for the past 10 years. Wow, your life has improved. That's the type of stuff they're throwing at you. They're like, oh, look at this Solana phone. That's definitely got... Friends, let's be honest, dude. If Vitalik brought out an Ethereum phone, everybody would be shitting on it. Why is Solana people saying, guess what? Our phone is the best. All right, bro. Well, look. It's just... I'm telling you, man. It happened before. People, see, this is funny. See everybody in Solana, friends. If you go look at everybody in the trench, in what they call the homoerotic trenches, where everybody's just like basically tonguing each other down each other's throat. Okay, or the rainbow flag is in there. They really think they're smarter than everyone else. Okay, because that happens every cycle, man. It's not just them. Everyone in the Bitcoin halvening year, they think, oh, I'm front running whoever's coming next year. No, dude, you won the game. You're meant to take it out, but they don't. They don't, okay? When retail, what they call retail, comes in, it doesn't buy what they think they're going to buy. Yeah, they're not going to come in and join these trenches. They're not. Now, you might ask me, Somi, what's the answer? I don't know the answer, okay? That's what, friends, that's what separates me from literally everybody else, okay? I'm the highest value content in crypto. I've told you, something's coming. I don't know what it is, okay? I'm not some sort of, I don't have the answer. I'm just telling you, it ain't going to be that, okay? Because too many people have now lost money in it. The market's priced it in. Okay, it's for example, DeFi season in 2020, people came in for gaming, metaverse, NFT JPEGs, DeFi 2.0, which is funny. It was like an abomination of DeFi 1.0. It's just DeFi 2.0 was just handing out yield for the sake of it. It was like Hex and Olympus DAO, whereas DeFi 1.0 was Aave and all these other new code and Uniswap creation stuff. So we've seen it all happen before, right? You had Dogecoin mania, you get alternative layer ones, right? It's funny, the alternative layer one, so they're just cheaper versions of Ethereum, and they actually did higher returns than Ethereum, even though no one was using them. Explain that. Well, that's it. That's what happened, right? And no one was predicting it. So SharpLink, friends, have added another 10,000 ETH worth 42 million. They now have $2 billion of Meth, 530,000 ETH as well. Also, to show you the news, right? SEC, friends, and Ripple. So SEC and Ripple, they have officially ended their legal battle. So I guess the SECs, they've dismissed, okay? So I think, did Ripple pay the $50 million for them? They asked for like $100 million. I think I got it down to $50 million. So they pretty much admitted they were guilty and dumping on everybody. And now they're basically given a free pass. President Trump has fired IRS Commissioner Billy Long, not to be confused with Billy Short. This guy's Billy Long. Now, what I put that here for you is, I please want to remind you, friends, don't be a hero. Pay your taxes. Don't be the hero. Don't do Uncle Pete. By the way, just to let you know, I think there's 2 books banned in America from being sold. One of them is Uncle Peter Schiff's dad. Yeah, do you know that? Irvine Schiff. Irwin Schiff, friends. And his book that's banned, it's literally actually banned. It's called The Federal Mafia. And look at this. How anyone can stop paying income taxes. They literally banned it, okay? So don't, and they literally, friends, they put him in jail. They said, look, we'll take you out. You just got to say sorry and tell people to pay their taxes. He never did. He died in jail. He died on his principles, which is kind of funny. Now you see why, friends. Uncle Peter Schiff's never capitulating, okay? His father, Irwin, literally passed away in jail. He refused to give up on his principles, okay? He died, unfortunately, as a sick man. I think he developed some sort of health problems, like, you know, cancer or something in there. And it's all because he wrote that book and he refused to capitulate on it. He literally took it to the grave. Okay, not even a metaphor. He literally took it to the grave, right? So what do you see it? Do you see it as like, hey, was he super stubborn or was he a man who was principled? He's like, you know what? We shouldn't be paying taxes and stuff. I'm just telling you, don't do that, okay? Just don't. Look, we've got enough examples, okay? At the end, I'll be telling you, man, hey, if you made money, take it to your bank account right now and just you pay your taxes, okay? You set it aside, you don't touch it, okay? Because trust me, what happens is, friends, people who didn't bet enough in the bear market, being long, when everything comes up, they don't want to take it out. They don't want to take it out. And they'll say, oh, I don't want to sell. I have to pay 30% taxes, whatever it is in your tax rate. And they just don't want to do it. And it's a regret 100% of the time. Literally, there's not one case where someone didn't regret it, okay? So I'm just giving you a friendly reminder. UK publicly traded Union Jack Oil is going to convert stranded gas wells into Bitcoin mining, potentially becoming one of the first oil to crypto projects and setting up a corporate Bitcoin treasury strategy. This might end up being garbage later on, but it's cool. It's cool to see, right? They're converting literal energy that they have into Bitcoin mining. Wowza. That's nice. Very nice to see. What we should do is play some Pumpy G music for that, because that's what we want to see. Now, Lord Vitalik, 4000 IQ alien, he said Ethereum's treasury companies broaden Ethereum access to wider investors, but warns the trend could become an over-leveraged game if not handled responsibly. Okay, remember, Vitalik, friends, is an alien. You know what I mean? Let me just translate here for you. There is a 100% chance people will do too much leverage because they don't know what comes around the corner. No one does, okay? And it will come back to bite us in the ass later. However, enjoy the bull market first and let's blow up this bubble as big as we can because it's been a long bear market. Okay, that's a translation of that. Pump Fund have announced Glass Full Foundation to inject significant liquidity into ecosystem tokens and accelerate communities in the Pump Fund ecosystem, aiming to grow Solana exponentially. So why I've shown you that is I just want to show you how zero of price impact this is happening. This is funny, friends. So Pump Fund insiders, they started front running this stuff. It goes up for 6 days in a row, and now they release it, and then it dumps down. It's funny. It's sitting around here. So it's still offside from your Pump Fund ICO. Just to give you an idea, friends. You're going to learn the hard way, okay? If you keep trading, you don't believe in something, you're going to get wrecked. That's it. And if you make a whole ecosystem around trading, guess who wins? The people providing you the tokens. Guess who loses? Everybody playing. That's what we do on centralized exchanges, by the way. They supply tokens for you. The market makers, it's all rigged. You're paying 8% freaking buy and sell fees, and the market makers on there, they're paying like 0.0001%, literally near zero. Okay? They have higher edge than you. They're faster than you. You know what? But it's a bunch of little pimple-faced kids. So, you know, they're going to have to learn. You have to get bitch slapped a few times before you realize what's up. And by the way, XRP already ran up 600%, bro. It already did the 7x. And it's, you know what I mean? Like, it already flashed 7x. There you go. It's not coming back to 50 cents for you. But, you know, you'll learn. You'll learn one day. Animoica Brands has partnered with Standard & Chartered Bank and HKT to establish Anchor Point, applying for Hong Kong's stablecoin issuer license. Once again, stablecoin SuperCycle is here, friends. Stablecoin SuperCycle. I remember we're going to see a big friendship participation of Pulse Chain, hopefully with the PDI narrative later on. But first, we're going to enjoy a bit of Pumpy G music. There's a lot of stuff happening in this video, friends. A lot. Doesn't go for long, though. There we go. There we go, friends. There we go. So, having fun out here. Yes, I do have. Thank you to Baby Dolls as well. Just going to show you again. Thank you to everybody who makes the stickers of me. I love spamming them. You see all these stickers made. Me grabbing my... Peter, I got a ping pong here. We're having fun. We're having fun. Now, $1 billion Swiss bank Signum have announced PUI custody. That's right, PUI. So trading, custody, staking, and lending. Now, I want to let you know, friends, as well. We've got a few Swiss baby dolls out in the community, out here, the friendship cult. This poop emoji, it's not for your beautiful land of Switzerland, okay? It's not for that. The poop emoji is for PUI, okay? Because they're literal, I mean, like, you can't make this up. PUI's logo is literally a liquid poop falling into a toilet bowl. Look at it. Right there, okay? So that's PUI. Now, PUI, friends, as you know, look, just to tell you, friends, they paid everyone, man. They paid everyone. We've run this scenario 30 times. All you KOL, stop pretending they didn't pay yous. We know, bro. We know. You know who we is? Everyone, dude. We know. You don't care about them. They have all these big unlocks. They got all these big institutions. They paid everyone, man. And guess what? You know, it's okay to pay people. It's okay. Just telling you, stop pretending like this is the next golden thing, dude. You're literally going to be dumping the crap out of this on every unlock. You're not going to know about PUI in the next bear market. Stop pretending like you care. You know what? Sometimes I think, friends, why do I even bother helping people so much, you know? But when you're hearing the high value content in crypto, you've made a choice. Every minute you watch me is a minute you have rejected soy out there and you're seeking the land of high protein. Saylor said, you can't tariff Bitcoin like gold. Bitcoin is digital gold. Bitcoin lives in cyberspace. No tariffs in cyberspace. Okay. I love you, but you're wrong. Bitcoin's got no privacy, bro. What do you mean they can't tariff it? Yes, they can. They have access to every single freaking centralized exchange. What do you mean they can't tariff it? They sent CZ to jail for 4 months, unrightfully and unjustly and unlawfully. Coinbase were allowed to find these hitmen to do these hit pieces to send CZ to the freaking gulags so they could cut the legs of Binance so they could get the Bitcoin spot ETF volume to route through Coinbase. What do you mean they can't tariff it? You know they can tariff it. You got no privacy, bro. You don't even have stablecoins. You got nothing on the chain. You don't do anything except hold it. It's like saying, hey, New York real estate is so amazing. The state of New York could never tax it. Yes, they can. They can do what the hell they want. But, you know, friends, I know. They're just, it's posturing words. So what I'm doing is, we're going to start to enter. So what we've been doing is we're in the believers. We've been in the believers area for a long time. That's the very low prices. As we rise up, you're going to see me get more of a disdain and like a yucky, PUI taste in my mouth when I'm thinking about just this euphoric posturing and confidence that people are going to be throwing out. Because what's going to happen is they will start to bend space-time with their own mind by that. They'll literally just start bending the rules. Like, we can't go. I'm not joking, man. I know we joke about this, but I'm serious. There will be a point someone's going to come out and say, we're never going to go down again. I promise you, okay? Because at the bottoms, November 2022, people said, we're never going to go up again. Okay? So there will be a point. We wait for that point where people say, we literally can never go down ever again. And we're like, gotcha. Oh, man. Don't you love it? Harvard University buys $116 million worth of BlackRock's spot ETF. I've been watching my UFO videos as well, friends. Harvard, they got a bit of deep state in them, friends. A bit, and by a lot. Harvard's got a lot of deep state in them. Remember Harvard University, they employed John Mack, who was, I think, a psychologist or psychiatrist. And he did all these UFO abductee interviews. He got like 100 of them. He found all the commonalities. He made a book of it. And the deep state told him to stop doing it. And they went to Harvard, and he got threatened at Harvard. They go, hey, we'll take away your job if you keep doing this research that's making progress all the time. He said, why would you stop me from making this research? Because we have all this evidence. There's physical implants in people. Such a sad story. And then what ends up happening is, so this is, let's look at John Mack. I'll show you. Here he is. John Mack, rest in peace, sir. John Mack. This is his book called Abduction. He was holidaying in UK, and then he gets mysteriously hit by a drunk driver, and he was walking on the side of the road. Yeah, drunk driver just literally runs him over. By the way, friends, do you know that there's that guy? He's from New Jersey. I think he's from New Jersey. His name's Chris something. He was a guy who got a bit famous during the zombie virus. Talks with a bit of a lisp. Yeah, a drunk driver, a guy tried to kill him off the side of the road in a pickup truck as well. He's walking to the gym. He literally just ran over, literally tried to kill him because he's revealing a lot of stuff. Yeah, that's deep state, friends, how they kill you. There's the most common things that we hear of. One, you start going crazy, so basically they spike your water supply with like some iodine metal thing. You literally start going crazy for a month or two, then they kill you. Okay, so it looks like you start going delirious, right? And then they get you after that. Or they just do the drunk driver hitting you off the road. They do that. It's never a drunk driver. It's obviously someone paid. So this is a very, very common way to pass away. So that's why, friends, as you know, I'm literally the most paranoid man in the world, and that's why I use code words for everything as well. Also, we can't stop it. That's why I'm not a threat to anyone. Like I'm just telling you it happens. We can't stop it. But what we can do, while you've got your precious life years here, how about you skip the rat race, let all the other suckers in the blue pill cuck tradfi system, let them pay off the debt, which you didn't spend, by the way. It was your parents. Okay, you didn't even ask for all that money printing. Okay, just for the parents. That's why I got to the mess in the first place, friends. The fiat system was always like this, but just to let you know, it's because all the boomers, they're like, hey, we don't want our houses to drop 80% for 10 years and to reset the system, because that's what was meant to happen in 2008. Houses, let's say there was a house, I don't know, 250,000 in 2008 in America. It was meant to go to a clearing price of about 50K. And then it sits there for like, 6 to 8 years. The economy resets. People build different banking systems and stuff. We reset the power structure. Billionaires drop and people replace, and then we continue on. But we didn't want to do that. We didn't want to reset everything. So what they did is so instead of house prices dropping 80%, what they did is they taxed everybody to replenish or the bad toxic debt, right? And that's why, friends, Bitcoin was made. Here we are today, Bitcoin. How long has it been? Like 17 years since the GFC. Wow, it's crazy, 17 years. That's why, friends, Bitcoin's destined to go higher but they could always screw us as well. If they hike rates fast and they do some tightening, we hyper-react fast. And it takes like 6 to 12 months for the economy to really feel the pain. That's another thing that they could always use to exploit us. But we'll talk about that later in the bear market. So, friendly reminder, friends. The entire crypto industry is short on Ethereum. They are leveraged long, overexposed on Bitcoin and Solana. Here is the final boss of Ethereum, which is me. Haha! Here we go. So that's pretty much it. It still is like that, friends. Everybody is underexposed to Ethereum by a long shot. I mean, like, dude, there's only one stablecoin chain as far as I'm is Ethereum, and you have Tron. Okay, there you go. But they're both EVMs. Ta-da! Nothing to do with Bitcoin. Here is the ETH-BTC ratio, 0.034. I'm thinking, when should I upgrade Ethereum from the tulip emoji to a brown shoe? I'm thinking soon, friends. Maybe at 0.04. I think if it gets back here, we'll go back to the 0.0, maybe 0.038. Around here, we'll put it back to a brown shoe emoji. And then if it goes up to 0.045, you'll be upgraded to dog shit. Okay, so I'll just show you just a shoe. There's a brown shoe emoji, friends. One of the lowest life forms you could ever be in this world. Just a brown shoe. So you become a brown shoe here. Hopefully we start to move on and crack on there. Do you think the cycle ends in December? We'll see. Like, subscribe, belly button all. Catch you in the next one.